Alright guys, hi, it is Annie B and I am back again for another video. Happy Friday. It's been a long week. Today I am here with a video for you guys about blindness again. So I hope you like these blind girl videos, and it's actually about an article that I recently read about a cure for blindness. And more specifically, it's getting pretty close to the kind of cure for blindness that I have. I told you guys before I have Leber's disease. It's an inherited disease. And I saw this article. I first saw this article because a friend of mine that is also blind shared it on Facebook. Shared it in a Facebook group. And it's from Gizmodo or Gizmodo. I don't actually know how you say it. But it says, I'm going to actually read it to you guys. And then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it, because I have some seriously complicated, complex thoughts. So the article says 13-year-old boy is the first person in the U.S. to receive newly approved gene therapy for blindness. And it is by Kristen Brown. On Tuesday, a 13-year-old boy from New Jersey was at the center of a medical history as he became the first person in the U.S. to receive an FDA-approved gene therapy for an inherited disease. The event marks the beginning of a new era of medicine, one in which a devastating genetic conditions that we are born with can be simply edited out of our DNA with the help of modern biomedical technologies. The therapy, Luxturna, from Spark Therapeutics, was approved by the FDA in December to treat a rare inherited form of blindness. Its price tag set at $850,000, or wait for it, $425,000 per eye. Like, can I get a Groupon or something? Made it the most expensive drug in the U.S. and sparked mass sticker shock. But the therapy, which in high-profile clinical trials has allowed patients to see the stars for the first time, also offered almost miraculous possibility of giving sight to the blind. The therapy is intended to treat retinal diseases, including Leber's congenital amaurosis. Hey y'all, that's what I got, that's me. Or retinitis pigmentosa caused by mutations in the RP65 gene. The RP65 gene produces an enzyme that helps the eye process light. In these disorders, severe visual impairment begins often in infancy and sometimes degrades over time. Some people with a mutated copy of the gene can see during the day, not it. Others are legally blind. The drug works by delivering a corrected copy of the RP65 gene to retinal cells, allowing the patient to produce the deficient enzyme and hopefully restoring their vision. Luxturna is considered by some to be the first true gene therapy approved by the FDA, since other approved therapies like those for blood cancers involve removing a patient's cells from their body, modifying them externally, and then infusing them into the body. Sorry, my tablet was giving me a notification. Jack Hodgen, the 13-year-old boy treated by doctors at Massachusetts Eye and Ear on Tuesday, began having noticeable difficulty with his vision as a toddler. On Tuesday morning, he was wheeled into an operating room at the Massachusetts Eye and Ear, where doctors injected a modified virus into his eyes that delivered the correct RP65 gene. Okay, I know it's a modified virus and it's meant to put the gene back in your eye, but like also the idea of injecting a virus in my eye of any kind, modified or not, sounds a little bit terrifying. So that's basically it. That is the article. That's the main part of it. You can only get it 1 week at a time. They're treating his one eye and then they're waiting till next week and they're treating the other eye. But basically all of that to tell you that they are gonna take a modified virus, inject it into your eye with the correct version of the RP65 gene, and then supposedly you'll be able to see. Now, here's the deal. The first thing that I thought when I read the article is I was mad. I was so freaking mad because it was like one of those days where technology wasn't working for me. Every time I turned around, my computer was freezing, and when that happens, your computer stops talking. You can't see what the screen's telling you. You can't see what instructions are happening. Nothing. So everything was freezing. Nothing was working correctly. I had probably almost fallen over something because I wasn't paying attention and didn't see it, or I wasn't, whatever. I mean, I was having a lot of blind girl problems that day. And I saw, the first thing that jumped out at me was the price tag, okay? $425,000, and that's only for one eye. Like I said, can I get a Groupon? Can I get like a discount for double price? Like, come on, something. That is crazy. That is insane. And I had been struggling that day with like just a lot of little things that normally you don't really have to struggle with, you know, and you do if you can't see. And I was like, listen, I have $425,000 per eye to go ahead and get some crazy expensive gene therapy, which long term we don't even know if it works permanently, okay? We just know it works for right now. And who is that? So does that get to decide whether or not I'm able to see? Like, is the amount, so if I don't have $850,000, does that mean I'm not rich enough to be able to see? After some further research, I guess they are participating with some pharmaceutical companies and offering refunds if it doesn't work. Well, okay, obviously, like, that's going to be a serious call. Like, hi, I just purchased your gene therapy. It's not working anymore. Can I get my $450,000 back, please? Because I only had it done in one eye, okay? So actually more accurately, it'll be like, hi, this gene therapy isn't working. Can I get my $850,000 back, please? Okay, so they're going to offer refunds. Supposedly they're partnering with pharmaceutical companies, and they're allowing for the insurance companies to go on installment agreement plans to pay for this. But, I mean, I don't know about you, but I have trouble getting my insurance company to cover my actual definite medical needs. Like, there was just a big thing with me and my insurance company, shout out Blue Cross Blue Shield, because they didn't want to cover my blood test because the doctor didn't code my blood test right. That was like $500, not $850,000. Could you imagine the phone call that I would make to the insurance company and be like, hi, I want to request this treatment for $850,000. And the thing is, I like who I am right now. I've had tons of opportunities, probably not in spite of the fact that I'm blind, but because of the fact that I'm blind. I went to space camp twice. I've been to sports camps for the blind. I have met tons and tons and tons of amazing people that I never would have met. I have done so much I can't even tell you because I'm blind. And people always ask me, do you want to be able to see? And my answer was always no. When I was little, it was because I wanted a guide dog. Well, it turns out I'm a little bit allergic to dogs. Not like super allergic, but allergic enough that if I had one in my house, it would be an issue. So there goes that. And I've always said no, but sometimes I just want to get up and drive. I don't want to have to call an Uber. I don't want to have to ask my mom like a 3-year-old. I want to be able to go to the store, pick up what I need, not have to ask anyone in the customer service aisle where the tampons are. Yeah, I said tampon. If you have a problem with feminine products and that makes you squeamish, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. But I don't want to have to do that. Some days, I'm just like, it would be nice if I could see. Some days. Some days when you feel like you just wish every damn thing wasn't a struggle. Some days you feel like you don't want to struggle every damn day. Because really that's what it is. Being blind, it causes you to be creative. It causes you to find super workarounds to live in a world that's not designed for you. But some days you just want to live in the world as it is. As it was designed, the way that it is. And that's it. That's what you want. The thing is, anytime anyone's ever asked me if I wanted to be able to see, I've always said no. And maybe it was because I didn't. Maybe it was because I was comfortable with who I am. But maybe it was because it wasn't possible. Like, I can't get laser surgery to fix my eyes. It's not an easy, quick fix. It was never possible. But now, it is. Apparently. It's possible if you have $850,000. And who is anyone to decide that because I don't have $850,000 that I'm not worth being able to see? Who gets to decide that? Who gets to decide that? Does a paper pusher at an insurance company get to decide whether or not me being able to see is medically necessary for me? Because I'm already living life, right? I'm 26. I'm already living life. I have a full-time job. I function in society, at least semi-normally. You know, I'm not normal. Let's not really go that far. But who gets to decide whether or not I get to have sight? Shouldn't it be me? Well, I don't have $850,000. The other part of the issue that I'm having with this article is, or with this cure for blindness is, what happens to the life that I've lived? So, if I say, yes, like, okay, by some miracle there is $850,000 available for me right now to go ahead and get this blindness cure, then what happens? Because I've never been able to see. So think about your life right now if you can see. Think about all of a sudden not being able to see. People don't want that. People are terrified about that. There are so many Americans that are terrified of being blind because they've lived their entire lives being able to see. And when they go blind, they have to learn how to read again, how to function again. They have to learn all of that stuff over again. Well, if I all of a sudden can see, then I have to learn how to read again. And I have to learn how to write again. And I have to learn how to walk. I mean, because right now I walk, I get up, I kind of know where I'm going because I can feel where I am. Because I know things. There's certain things like if I pass an open doorway, if it's all of a sudden open on like this side of my face, like the right side of my face, you can feel it. It's a difference in the feeling of the air and in the sound of the air around you when things open up. If there's a wall or something coming super close to my face, I can feel that. But instead of that, I'm going to have to use my eyes, which doesn't come naturally to me now. But sight is a thing, right? It's always there unless you're closing your eyes. So you're going to see it whether you want to see it or not, unless you're walking around with your eyes closed. And first of all, I've never seen anything. I don't know what a color is. I mean, I know what a color is. Like, right, you can describe colors to me all day. But really, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, because I was never able to see it, I don't have a concept of color. I love pink, but what does pink really look like? It would be like living life in black and white and then all of a sudden getting an HD color TV, but times 1,000 because I have to learn everything. And that's terrifying because they have programs, right? They have rehabilitation programs for you if you go blind. They have people that are trained to show you the world. But do they have people to show you what happens when you get your sight back? I mean, I saw a Lifetime movie one time where this guy got his sight back and he didn't like it, so he chose to go blind again. No, this was all like hypothetical at that point in time, I believe, because I don't think this was an option then. But I would have to learn everything. I would have to learn how to live. I would have to learn depth perception and what it looks like when there's a step to take. And the fact that I could see everything, like, I want to say for me, like my thinking is more linear, but vision is all around, right? Like you can turn your head, you can see everything. And I don't know what that would be like. Like, what if it hurts my eyes? Because my eye muscles are not ready for that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like my eyes, if you see my eyes, it's called nystagmus. They move all around. What if my eyes are not ready for that? How do I focus my eyes on something? Does that just happen naturally? Because babies learn that, right? Babies learn how to follow things with their eyes. I never did. Would I get headaches the way that I used to when I was little because the sun was too bright or the light was too bright? Because my body can't handle the overload of being able to see? Like, what if it's completely overwhelming? I don't think you can undo it. And the other thing is, I do like who I am. I like who I am. I'm not ashamed of being blind. Obviously, I'm here talking to you about being blind all the freaking time. But I mean, like as selfish as this is, I was reading that article and it said that this gene therapy, this $850,000 gene therapy, let people see stars for the first time. And honestly, like right in that second, just for a really quick second, I was like, I want to see the stars. And it's so hard because there's so many disability activists that say don't be ashamed of your blindness, accept it. And that's true, you do. You have to accept it. But what does it say about me that after 26 years, something like that still gets you? Like, hey, I want to see the stars too. If I decide all of a sudden that I'm going to be sighted, does that make these 26 years worthless? Or, you know, consequently, if you edit blindness out of the whole world, what do you lose? Like, I told you I'm really good at working around things. Like, I have to find workarounds because the world's not really designed with blind people in mind, just like it's not really designed with people in wheelchairs in mind or deaf people in mind. And like some of those disabled people, they have the best workarounds. You know, that's what makes us such great employees. Holla. Because we know how to work around things and think outside of the box. And so if you edit blindness, so say this cure, first of all, I have to tell you, I'm not even sure if it would work on me. I'm not sure if I have the particular mutation gene issue that this could fix. But if you could edit this out, and you could edit out blindness out of the whole entire world, then look at all of the things that you're losing. I persevere because I'm blind. It has kind of taught me to not take no for an answer, to always find a workaround, to find humor where there is struggle. So if you one day could edit blindness out of this whole population, what happens to that? What happens to the things that you only know because of blind people? What happens to the things that you only have blind people think of? I mean, it's the same as if, what if one day everyone could hear and everyone could walk and there was no disability ever? Disability isn't a metaphor, and we're not here to be your inspiration porn, but also it is. I mean, not only is it making you a stronger person, but I feel like it's making the world around you stronger. And so I wonder what would happen if all of a sudden they edited that out of the whole world. And so I feel like at this moment in time, I'm in this struggle sort of between wanting to stay the way that I am and wanting to be who I am, because blindness isn't all that I am, but it is a part of who I am. And then there's this other part of me, because now it's possible, that just wants to see the stars. So it's a super complicated, kind of a divisive issue. And so when I read the article, I went from mad to sad to hopeful. And I think that even thinking about it now, those are all things that I still feel. I read the article maybe about a week ago. And people are like, oh, they can cure blindness, cool, no more blind people having a struggle, like that's great. No, this is just one type of blindness, but the point still stands. I don't know, let me know down in the comments if, I talked to someone about this and they said hope is a dangerous thing sometimes. Like a little bit of hope, because it's something you didn't have. It's like all of a sudden me being able to see is in the realm of possibility. But what happens if I can see? Honestly, the whole idea of me being able to see is terrifying to me. It's terrifying because I would have to learn everything all over again, right? We talked about that. I don't know what to expect. I don't even have a concept of what it's like to walk around seeing everything or anything. I can't even see my finger when I hold it in front of my face. Like, I can see light, but that's it. So I have concept of light and dark. So the idea of taking something that you've never had and having it there all of a sudden after how many years? When you're born? After 26 years? After you've already created this life? So mad, sad, hopeful. You know, there's a part of me that doesn't want to struggle every damn day. There is a part of me that does not want every single day to have some kind of struggle, some kind of issue, some kind of thing where you go to a store and someone thinks you're incompetent or talks to your mom or your friend or whoever is with you because they assume that they're your caretaker instead of your mom or your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Those are things that some days I would like to be like, I'm done with it. But what does that say about the life that I've lived and the life that I'm proud of? What does that say about any of that? So there's a part of me that wants to stay who I am. And there's a part of me that wants to see the stars. So what do you guys think? I'm really interested to hear from any of my blind friends and subscribers. What would you do if this cure was offered to you? Would you take it? Would you have reservations? What would happen? I'm also really curious to hear what anyone thinks. Anyone disabled, anyone non-disabled, anyone sighted. I want to know, like, if you had a cure for one thing that ailed you, but also kind of sort of helped to make you who you are. Would you take it? Is it tempting fate? Is it playing with God? What is it? I'm really interested to see what you guys think. Sorry for the long rambly video. So that's me. That's my like hashtag blind girl rambles. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more content. I upload every Monday and every Friday. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Annie B Videos. And that is all I have for you guys today. But definitely leave comments. Please engage me in the comments. I really want to know, would you do it? If you were able to cure something that ails you and that has made you struggle all your life, but has also made you who you are, not wholly, but is a huge factor in why you are the way you are and who you are and your outlook on life and the people you've met and the things you've done. If you had an opportunity to change that thing about yourself, would you do it? Let me know in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys today. Have a great weekend. Bye.